Hello everyone for today's webinar in partnership with Sympass. So we'll see today how to file a successful tax return here in Luxembourg and to get the best out of it. I will present myself very quickly. My name is Patrick Malger. I'm one of the founders of Taxx.lu. Taxx.lu is online since 2018 and allows everyone to do their tax return themselves the most easiest way online. So what's on the menu today? At first, we will see why filing a tax return in Luxembourg, even if not mandatory, makes sense. We will see different deductions you can claim on your tax return to save on taxes. We will see what documents you need to prepare the tax return. We will see how to file it. And we will see as well what are the legislative changes for 2023. There are not a lot, but 2 or 3 that may be interesting for a few of you. So how taxation in Luxembourg works? Basically, there are 2 steps. At first, your employer is withholding some tax on your salary and paying it to tax administration. And after 1 year, you can file a tax return for that year and claim money back if this withholded tax was too high. Or maybe you have to pay taxes if it was too low. So who has to file a tax return? Because basically a tax return in Luxembourg, it's not mandatory for everyone. Here are a few examples when you have to do one. So for example, if your taxable income of your household is higher than 100K, then you have to do one. And as well, if you're a non-resident married couple and you have a fixed tax rate on your tax card, then as well you have to file a tax return after a year. It's the same if you have any income that is not taxed at source. So for example, rental income, if you have an apartment here in Luxembourg or abroad that you are renting out and you are getting a rental income. At that moment, you also have to do a tax return because basically on that income, you haven't paid taxes yet. However, even if a tax return is not mandatory, filing one can make you save on taxes. You have to know that nearly half of all the taxpayers in Luxembourg are not filing a tax return because for them it's not mandatory, but they won't receive a refund neither. So basically, if it's not mandatory for you to file a tax return, check if you have some of the deductions we will see today, and then you can file a tax return and claim some taxes back. For example, if you are single with a gross monthly salary of 4K, and you have some deductions, for example, 672 euros in insurances. You're making contributions to a home savings plan of 1,300 euros, and maybe you have a cleaning company that cleans your home for 5K a year. Then doing a tax return is not mandatory in this situation, but if you're doing one, you can claim back 1,668 euros for that year. Another example, let's assume you would start your first job after university, this example 1st of July, and you are earning 3K gross salary per month. Then what you can do a tax return for that entire year. And thanks to that tax return, even without any deductions, you can claim back 1,068 euros in taxes. So especially for people starting a job in Luxembourg during the year and haven't worked before, doing a tax return is most probably not mandatory, but can be very interesting thanks to the taxes you can claim back. So how to save on taxes? Basically, on the Luxembourg tax return, you have different. There's a micro. Basically, on the Luxembourg tax return, you have different types of deductions that are possible. So various expenses you have during the year, you can deduct them on the tax return. And thanks to this, you can save on taxes. And those tax savings depend on your revenues. The higher your revenues are, the more taxes you could save. Few examples. If you are single with a gross monthly salary of 3K, then your tax gain is more or less 21%. Meaning 21% of every deduction is what you can save on taxes. If you have a gross monthly salary of 10K, this tax gain is even around 43%. So meaning that if you are deducting 1,000 euros on your tax return, you can claim back 430 euros in taxes. So what are all those deductions that you can claim on your tax return? Basically, you have three main categories. First is called special expenses. You can find there interests you are paying on private loans, for example. You have insurance premiums that you pay. You have private pension plan premiums, or you have a home savings plan contributions that you can deduct. And another possibility there is donations. Allowances is the second category. So, for example, extra professional allowance, this allowance of 4,500 euros a year is applied automatically if you are married or in a Pax and if you are doing your tax return together. Another possibility in this category, it's the cost for childcare or domestic help. We are coming to this a little bit later. And you have also what is called extraordinary expenses that can be deducted here. If you are a homeowner, then you can also deduct mortgage interests, but also notary fees and the bank charges during the year you bought your home, basically. Are those deductions also applied to cross-border commuters? Yes, if you are considered like a Luxembourgish resident, there are a few key criteria. For example, if you would live in France, work 100% in Luxembourg, then you can also ask for those deductions on the Luxembourg tax return. However, you have to note that for some deductions, only Luxembourg contracts are accepted. It's the case, for example, for private pension plans, that has to be Luxembourgish, or home savings plans. For example, there are French banks offering as well home savings plans, but those will not be deductible here in Luxembourg. So you have to open up a Luxembourg contract, and you can do so with us. Taxx.lu is partner with Lux for all insurances and pension plans, and partner of Wüstenrot, a home savings bank, and we can help you to open up those contracts so you can save on taxes in the future. So let's dive a little bit deeper into those different categories of deductions. First, we will talk about interests on private personal loans and insurance premiums. So basically, for every deduction, there are maximum deductible limits. In this case, for insurances, the maximum deductible limit is 672 euros per family member living in the household. So for a couple with 2 kids, they can deduct a total of 2,688 euros per year in this category. Interest expenses on loans are included in this category. So basically, it's interest you're paying on consumer loans. For example, if you have a loan for your car, those can be deducted in this category, but also credit card interests or overdraft interests on your bank account if you are below zero on your bank account and you owe interest to the bank. Those can also be claimed in this category. On the insurance side, you can deduct, but the most common is the civil liability insurance for your car, for example. That can be deducted here. What is not deductible with the car insurance is, for example, what we call in Luxembourg the casco. So basically, it's the insurance that covers material damage on your car. That one won't be deductible. You can as well deduct life insurances. You can deduct private healthcare insurance. All those will be deductible here in this category. So as I mentioned, we are a partner of Lux. Lux, it's Luxembourg's oldest insurance company. And one example of a life insurance that is deductible on the tax return is what is called Lux Education. Basically, it's a life insurance where the goal is to build up savings to prepare your child's education. And at the same time, if one of the parents would die before the end of the contract, then the kids would also receive a lump sum. So they will be covered in the event of death. Another option you have with Lux is DKV private healthcare insurance. So basically here DKV private healthcare insurance, it covers everything that CNS is not covering 100%. So you can get additional reimbursements on medical expenses, and this type of insurance is as well deductible on the tax return. Then the tax advantages of a home savings plan. And home savings plan, basically, it's like a savings account. It's a savings account where your money will be blocked for 10 years. And after 10 years, you can access that money. And at that moment, you have to use it for your home. So you can use it for an acquisition, new construction. You can use it for renovation if you're a homeowner in 10 years. Or you can also use it to pay back on your mortgage if in 10 years you have a mortgage running. Here, the maximum deductible limit, it's 672 euros per family member living in your household. And if one of the parents is younger than 41 years, then this maximum deductible limit will be doubled. So basically, a couple where the father has 40 years, the mother 38, and 2 kids, they can deduct a maximum of 5,376 euros on the tax return, and the possible tax gain in that case, if they have a taxable income of more or less 100K, would be 2,243 euros. One other benefit of such a home savings plan, it's a state guarantee. Basically, if you can prove that you have invested money into a home savings plan during at least 3 years, then you can get a state guarantee for your mortgage, or part of your mortgage, and this could help you with the bank to negotiate your file, your situation, your mortgage, basically. What about the private pension plan? Basically, a private pension plan allows you to deduct 3,200 euros per person, but here per person means per adult in the household. So if you are a couple with 2 kids, you can deduct 2 times 3,200, so a total of 6,400. So kids are not involved here in order to determine the maximum deductible limit for a private pension plan. If you're investing the maximum, so 2 times 3,200, this family could save 2,670 euros in taxes each year. What are the conditions? One condition is that those contracts have to run for at least 10 years, and you can earliest access that money at age 60. So even if at age 60 you are not retired, you can access that capital at that moment. Or you can also decide to continue to invest into that private pension plan and take out the money, for example, at 64, 65. At latest, you have to withdraw it at 74 years old. With all the insurance companies, you have 2 options here. The first is mostly called performance. Here, your investment is going into the stock market through different investment funds. And the other option is mostly called security. And here, basically in the contract, by opening the contract, you will have a minimum that will be paid out to you at age 60. And the money will not be invested into investment funds. Let's take an example. So for example, if you would invest a maximum of 266 euros per month, with an average return on investment of 5% per year, after 20 years, you will get more or less 105,000 euros out of this contract. After 30 years, it would even be 212,000 euros. The return on invest, of course, it depends on the evolution of the funds you invested your money. At Lux, they are offering a list of not 8 but 11 different investment funds, and out of this list, you can choose up to 4 different funds. And if you are choosing 4 funds, by each month, 25% of your investment will be done in one of those funds. Out of this list, my personal favorite is the Uni Nachhaltig Aktien Global, which had an average annual return on invest of 9.41% over the last 10 years. So even with COVID, inflation, and everything, this fund had a really good return on invest. If you want to have more information about this, just contact my team at Taxx.lu. We can help you to set up those private pension plan contracts. There will be next week on the Sympass platform a new special offer for members of Sympass. Basically, if you subscribe through Sympass, you will get back the first month's investment. So basically, if you are opening up a private pension plan for 200 euros a month, Taxx.lu will reimburse you the first 200 euros you are investing into that private pension plan. Can you deduct donations to charity? Yes, you can. Basically, those donations have to go to recognized non-profit organizations, and those will be tax deductible if you are donating at least 100 euros in total. So, for example, if you're donating 50 euros to 3 different NGOs, the total will be 150 euros, and then you can deduct those 150 euros on your tax return. There's also a maximum. Maximum is quite high. You can deduct up to 1 million euros a year, and it has to be less than 20% of your net income. So, for example, if you would earn, I don't know, 100K, you can donate and deduct up to 20K from NGO, for example. Then on the tax return, there is some deductions for cleaning and childcare. And there, the normal maximum is 5,400 euros per household. In different cases, you could deduct more, but for 95% of our customers on Taxx, it's 5,400 the maximum. Basically, if you have more expenses, on Taxx, you can just add them. The system will check if they are deductible, and if so, they will be automatically included in your tax return. Potential tax saving for this family with 2 kids by deducting 5,400 euros, it's 2,251 euros per year. And in this category of frais de domesticité, you have 2 types of expenses. At first, you have cleaning expenses. So, for example, if you hired cleaning staff that is cleaning your home, and you registered them at CCSS, then you can deduct those the salary for that person on the tax return. And it's also the same if you're hiring a cleaning company that is invoicing their services to you, then you can also deduct those on the tax return. On the other hand, you have childcare expenses. So basically, you have the expenses you have for the crèche of your kids or the maison relais. Those can also be added into this category. Extraordinary expenses. So they are more extraordinary. For example, if you have non-reimbursed medical expenses that have not been reimbursed by CNS or not 100% reimbursed by CNS, nor by your private healthcare insurance, then you can claim them in this category. It's the same for expenses due to legal maintenance obligation. If you have to pay money to, I don't know, your parents that don't have a pension, for example, they need your money for their life. But also if you have lawyer fees or divorce expenses, funeral expenses, you can add them into this category. However, there is a certain minimum amount that has to be exceeded. And this minimum amount, it's quite complicated to calculate it. It's based on your household composition. So how many people are you in your household? And also your taxable income. On Taxx, we are calculating this automatically. So basically on Taxx, arriving on that screen, you will see what is this minimum amount. If you don't exceed this minimum amount, makes no sense to add it to the tax return because it won't be deductible. Deductions related to a mortgage. There is an update for the tax return 2023. So basically, if you are living in a home where you moved in before 2023, the first 5 years you are living in that home, you can deduct up to 3,000 euros per household member for the tax return 2023, and it will be 4,000 euros starting with the tax return 2024. Between 6 and 10 years, it will be 2,250 euros per household members on the 2023 tax return and 3,000 next year. And if you live for longer than 10 years in that home, it will be 1,500 for the 2023 tax return and 2,000 euros per household member for the 2024 tax return. So, for example, a family that moved into their home in 2020, they can deduct on the 2023 tax return a maximum of 12,000 euros, and they would save 5,000 euros in taxes. There's been a change also for the 2023 tax return. So if you moved into a new property in 2023, or if you had a property that was not yet inhabited because of renovations or because of construction, then if it's a new property, so a brand new property that you bought that was under construction, then you can deduct your interest, your mortgage interest, without any maximum deductible limit. However, if you bought an existing home, so a house that already was inhabited before by another family, if this house is being renovated by you because it's very dilapidated, you cannot live there because there's no heating system, no windows, no toilets, whatever, then during the period of renovation, there's no maximum deductible limit for mortgage interest, so you can deduct all those interests on the tax return. However, if you bought last year a house that was inhabited before and that is still habitable, so everything seems okay, but you just wanted to make a new painting, then the normal ceiling will apply from acquisition on. So the ceiling we just saw will apply right away, starting with the date of acquisition. During the year of acquisition of your home, on that tax return, you can also deduct bank fees and commissions for credit opening. So basically, it's what the bank is invoicing you to open up your mortgage. Those will be deductible, and also the notary fees. But there you have to be careful. It's only the notary fees related to the credit opening. So basically, the mortgage opening that are deductible. Normally in Luxembourg, you have two invoices from the notary. You have one for the mortgage opening. That one will be deductible. And the other one, it's normally around 7% of the price you paid for that home. That one won't be deductible on the tax return. So it's only the one for the credit opening. Normally it's around 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 euros that you can deduct here. The notaries are sending you normally two types of invoices. And the one where it's mentioned ouverture de crédit, credit opening, that one is deductible and not the other one. If you have doubts, just contact my team on Taxx.lu. What specificities for an outstanding balance insurance? Basically, an outstanding balance insurance it's life insurance that covers your mortgage. So if you or your partner would die, then this insurance would pay part of your mortgage. In Luxembourg, you have two options here. You have the option to pay this insurance monthly or annually, or you can also pay this insurance in one shot at the moment of subscription for the entire duration of the insurance. In terms of insurance, it makes no difference, but it makes a huge difference in terms of tax optimization, tax deductibility. Basically, if you are opting for the option to pay this insurance monthly or annually, the premiums you are paying will be included in the maximum deductible limit for the insurance deductions. So as we have seen, it was 672 euros per family member in the household. So very quickly, a family with two cars, maybe private healthcare, they are already over that maximum deductible limit. And if you are signing up for an outstanding balance insurance that you are paying annually, you won't have any tax benefit out of it. However, if you are opting for the one-shot payment, single premium, then the legislator had other maximum ceilings. So basically, those ceilings are 6,000 euros per adult in the household, plus 1,200 euros per child, plus 8% per year if you are older than 30 years. So a family where the father is 40 and the mother 38 with two kids, they can deduct here a maximum of almost 25K. If you want to know how much you can deduct here in your personal situation, we have on Taxx different simulators. So just Taxx.lu, in the menu you see simulators, and there is also a simulator for outstanding balance insurance, where you just add your birth dates, number of kids, and the system will tell you what is your personal maximum deductible limits in your situation right now. If you would sign up for such an outstanding balance insurance and pay almost 25K, the tax gain would be around 10,432 euros. So the net price for that insurance won't be 25K, but only 14,500 euros more or less. And also good to know, single premiums can be deducted every 5 years. So for example, you could cover only half of your mortgage now, and in 5 years you are subscribing in a second outstanding balance insurance for the rest of your mortgage. And then you can also get those extra high maximum deductible limits for that insurance, and you could cover 100% of your mortgage. So in case of death, your kids or your partner, won't be punished with a huge mortgage to pay. So how to file your tax return? At first, what you need to do is to get all the certificates together you need for your tax return. The most important one would be your salary certificate. That one you are getting it from your employer. Normally they are sending it to you by paper, or you can by PDF, or maybe you have in your company a platform where you can connect and download it. So that one you need it for sure. And then you need all the certificates related to the deductions you want to claim on the tax return. So for example, for insurances here in Luxembourg, if you are with a Luxembourg insurance company, they will send you those certificates automatically, or you can get them on their website by logging into your account. The same for private pension plans. You will get a paper from the insurance company, from the bank, and you can just add those to your tax return. It's the same for home savings plans. So home savings banks here in Luxembourg, there are 3 of them: Schwäbisch, Wüstenrot, and BHW. They are sending you those certificates normally end of January, start of February, the year after the tax year you want to do the tax return for. And for interest expenses, you can just you are getting or paper certificate, bank statement from your bank, or you can just download them on your web banking. Normally in the menu documents, you find all those tax certificates. If you don't have, if you are a customer, for example, at the bank abroad, they don't have those standardized tax certificates as we have here in Luxembourg. So they don't add entire contracts of your car insurance, for example. Just ask your insurance company to send your certificate where they mention clearly how much you paid for what insurance during tax year, and then you can add those to your tax returns. If you don't have those, it's possible that tax administration won't accept your deduction. So best is really to contact your bank in your bank or your insurance company abroad. And if you are living just behind the Luxembourg border, those companies know exactly what is needed for the Luxembourg tax return. Other certificates, but if you have done donations, just ask the NGO for certificate. For crèche and maison relais, normally most of the crèches and maison relais are sending those certificates automatically. If not, ask them. They have to give you those certificates, and you can add them to the tax return. If you have hired a cleaning person at home, CCSS will send you this certificate automatically. And if you have a cleaning company for your home, then or they will send it automatically, or you just ask them to get a certificate to deduct those expenses on your tax return. Once you have all the certificates together, you can start with this. Basically, that's the Luxembourg tax return. It counts 20 pages. It's 20-page PDF form, and then you can give it a try. It's not very funny, and it's quite complicated. And that is why 6 years ago, we founded Taxx.lu, which basically is an online service. So we are just creating an account, and then you will follow different steps that will adapt automatically to your personal situation. And you can as well just add all the certificates. If those certificates are in our system, which is the case for almost all the Luxembourg certificates, the system will recognize the type of the document and will extract automatically the information on that document, and automatically starts to complete your tax return. You just follow different steps. At the end of the process, you will have a calculation of how much taxes you are due, or how much taxes you can get back, and then you can just decide to download your tax return. and send it to tax administration by post or upload it on myguichet.lu. At the end of the process as well, the system will show you your potential tax savings. So basically, the system will automatically detect the maximum deductible limits that are not reached yet, and we can help you to have more information about those different options you have. And because we are partners with Lux and with Wüstenrot, we can also set up those contracts for you. Prices on Taxx for a standard tax return is 59 euros. So here you are just doing your tax return, downloading it, and sending it to tax administration. If you have questions during the completion of the tax return, there on the bottom right of the website, there's a chat where my team answers all your questions. Then we have also a plus pack. The plus pack is at 99 euros. And there, my team will also verify manually your tax return if everything is correct. And once you got the tax assessment back from tax administration, we can also verify if everything is correct. And if they have done something wrong, we can help you to write a letter for reconsideration. And then the third package is the premium package. You are getting everything you are getting also with the plus package. But on top of that, you can schedule a call, half an hour video call, where we can help you to answer all your questions. If your situation is changing, if you are going to be married, if you are having a third child or whatever, we can discuss your situation and help you to take the right decisions regarding taxation. Of course, with Sympass, you have a discount, and basically this discount is 20% on all the plus and premium packages. So a normal plus package costs 99 euros. For Sympass members, it's only 79. And premium packages, which normally cost 149, are now at 119. In order to get this discount, you can just check on the Sympass platform, and there you see in the menu there's a menu, your services, tax declaration, and there you can have more information about how to get this 20% discount. If you want to have more information about tax optimization and your potential to save on taxes, you can just scan this QR code. You will arrive on an online agenda, and there you can schedule a free phone call with one of my team members, so you can discuss your personal situation, and we can detect where you could save on taxes. And if you want to subscribe to a private healthcare insurance, private pension plan, home savings plan, or whatever, we can help you to do so with our partners. If you have questions regarding this or your tax return, you can just send an email to my team on help@Taxx.lu, and they will come back to you with an answer. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you a nice day. Thank you.